Hey y'all, and welcome to my channel. Today we're doing some butter superheroes. Remember I told you we were gonna watch Wolverine and the X-Men, and we're gonna do episode 1. It's called Hindsight, and I'm just gonna kind of recap it for you. I hope you guys watched it, or we can watch it along together right now. It's on Disney Plus. It's Wolverine and the X-Men, so let's go. So then Logan, he got his bag. He's going outside. He sees Jean and Scott talking, Cyclops and Jean Grey talking. And the first look on his look is just pure hater. He is giving pure hater. But then he sees that they're arguing, so then he's like, oh, okay. He got a little smile on his face. And then Jean blows him a kiss. Because she's telling Scott that he needs to apologize to Logan. And blows him a kiss. Girl. So it cuts off there. And the next thing you know, we see Logan. He had been taking a nap by a tree or something like that, and he is in the middle of nowhere. And so he gets on his motorcycle. He's at a stop sign. He sees this caravan of RVs go past, and he's like, "Oh, hi!" And he waves to the little girl in the RV. It was a really sweet moment. So the RVs go that way, and then he looks over that way in his rearview mirror, and he sees that there's an explosion. So he goes that way. Because of course he does. But anyway, he's like, well, and he looks in his rearview mirror and he's like, I guess I'll go and go help. So then he has to go and tell Rogue that he's leaving. And she's really upset because she's like, we have the best connection in the house. When you're not here, it's not the same. Maybe I'll just leave too. She ain't going nowhere. Where will she go? Back to her family? We know how her family is. So then she's like, can't you see I'm just like you? And she storms off. So then they get back to where Storm and Xavier and everybody is at the mansion, and both Xavier and Jean get a headache. I would have left at this point because these are some very powerful people and they control stuff with their brains and they're getting headaches. I would have bounced immediately. So he gets out to go help, and first of all, he's going to help a family. The mom and the dad are outside crying because they've managed to get out, but their baby, well, she's not a baby, she's like 7, but their baby is still in the house. So they're outside, boo-hoo. Didn't nobody make sure? She was should have been the first one to get out, not y'all. What? So then the whole thing really blows up, and they're like really crying because they're like, oh no, now both of them, are in there. But it turns out Logan's on top of the little girl, and he saved her with his body, which I feel like she would have died anyway because this man has adamantium bones, and I think he weighs like 300 and some odd pounds at least, from what I remember. But I guess we're not doing that. Oh, wait, maybe he doesn't weigh that much because it's only taken 2 men to take him over to the blanket to go lay down, I guess, and recover on the blanket. So then this dude, he's called the Mutant Registration Department because remember, Logan, he went and saved the girl. He had to use his claws to get in there. And he calls the MRD, the Mutant Registration Department. And you can tell he's the bad guy, because he's fat and he has a sweater tied around his shoulders, and you can't do both and be a good guy. So he's in the RV with the family, and they're watching his wounds heal, and he's kind of drifting in and out of consciousness. And as he's doing so, he's remembering what happened that day when Jean and Xavier got a headache at the same time. So as he's dreaming about this, and when upon waking, the little girl has wandered into his room to give him a glass of water. What? And of course, when she wakes him up, the first thing he does is leap up with his claws coming out. This man has knives in his hands, literally, and the baby's just walking around up to him at random. Where is her mother? Oh, she's outside on the phone because the MRD is harassing her for having this mutant. He's a grown man, and you watched him heal. He can leave in the house with my baby giving him. What? No. Turns out the mansion blew up. That's what happened. They got a headache and the mansion blew up. And of course, the fat dude with the sweater, because that's how you know he's bad. He's both fat and he has a sweater. And he's outside, he's pointing to the house and everything. If you don't mind your own business, and why do you have this sweater wrapped around? Like, it's nighttime. What are you doing? So the MRDs arrive, they bust in the house. Wolverine looks into his bag. All you see is his uniform. Not no extra pair of drawers, not no toothbrush, nothing. Just the Wolverine costume in his bag. So he puts on his Wolverine outfit and he goes outside and he gets to tearing them up, right? And as he's tearing them up, he looks up. The MRD already has the family in the helicopter and they're taking them to mutant jail. Why they're taking them to mutant jail, I don't know. I'm presuming that since there are still humans here, that they could take them to human jail, regular people jail. And then they took the baby too. So the baby, I keep calling her the baby. She's like 7. I'm sorry, y'all, but everybody that's a baby to me. So they're taking him to jail, to mutant jail. Wolverine tore up the helicopter, but it's too late, right? And then the fat man with the sweater, because that's how you know he's bad, his RV gets smashed up by the helicopter. So they got the family in one cell in mutant jail. They all the mom, the dad, and the baby. And so Captain Claw, I can never remember his name. He's the head of the MRD. He's got like a scratch across his face, presumably from Wolverine, because that's what it looked like to me. And he's like, tell me about the mutant. And the baby's like, we don't know what you're talking about. The parents are saying nothing. The baby they left for dead is doing all the talking. He's like, his name is Wolverine. He's very dangerous. The baby's like, no, he's not. This girl here, okay? And her parents still haven't said anything. Speechless. So Wolverine goes back to the blown up mansion where, you know what? I don't know why. They don't explain why exactly he went back to the blown up mansion, but he does. He goes back to the blown up mansion. It's in ruins. He sniffs the air, and then he uses his claws to slide down the elevator shaft down to the basement. I guess Beast is still living there in the basement? He's like doing research. The lights are on. Like, okay, and see, and this is where you suspend your disbelief, because I'm like, who's paying the bills? Because the wealthy guy is gone, Hank, and you're a professor. Like, who's paying mansion bills? And that's another thing. Tells him what happens to the family, and the Beast said the same thing I did. They're arresting non-mutants now? Yes, they are. And questioning babies. Yeah, that's what they're doing. What Beast is trying to figure out is who blew up the mansion and why. And he's having a really hard time. So Wolverine and Beast hijack a Marty truck, and they're pretending to be that Logan's a regular person, Marty worker, and then he caught Beast. Beast is upset because it stank back there. He don't want to ride back there, but he's supposed to be the prisoner, so he has to. And how good can he possibly swim? Let me not. So they go get the husband to like interrogate him with tactics, to see if he could talk to them about Wolverine. Right? He don't want to go. He's struggling. He's fighting with him. Take the baby, okay? Because they don't know anything. They clearly don't know anything. But they took the husband. After they get to torturing my man, then we switch over to Beast, who's sneaking around and being big and blue and sneaking around the facility trying to find his family. Beast. Jig is up before they can even get out the truck good, because Beast couldn't put on his handcuffs. So now they got to fight their way out instead of sneaking their way in. Square. Just square. Can we talk about where did Xavier get his money from? Because in my cursory amount of research that I did, I wasn't gonna do a deep dive. Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, okay? But it says that his parents were wealthy because his dad was a nuclear scientist. And then I asked Siri, I was like, how much does a nuclear scientist make? And she said $50K a year. Now. So maybe he was like a Nobel Prize winner. It didn't say all that. It didn't go into all that. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I just am not sure. Drugs. That's drugs. So nice touch. They give us a moment where there's a billboard and it says inviting on personal invitation to all mutants, come live in peace, paradise, and it's Magneto, and it's talking about Genosha. I don't know. I just thought it was a nice touch. So they bring the husband back because he was useless, like I said they was. And so then he takes my advice. He's like, okay, like, maybe y'all don't know nothing, but this baby do. And so he's getting ready to take the baby. Here come Wolverine and Beast. Wolverine grabs Captain Claw, whatever his name is. They get to tussling. Wolverine doesn't, he slaps him. An open hand slap. The disrespect, y'all. The disrespect was so intentional, and I'm here for it. And then he puts Captain Claw in the interrogation chair with the tactics, and then leave him there. So they end up saving some other mutants. Pyro, Boom Boom, and Dust. Is really good to see them. It is. And they basically wreck the Marty building that they escaped from. Not the whole thing, but just the part they escaped from, I guess. And then the Marty... Oh, because they hijacked the helicopter. That's why. And so they go back... And then they tear up the planes, too, that are chasing them in this hijacked helicopter. Y'all did steal that helicopter, though. Y'all did. Captain Claw got out of the chair somehow. I guess one of his friends let him out. And that's where the story ends this week. He saved the family. They shake his hand. He drops them off at, I guess, the cabin that they were probably on their way to for vacation. They should probably just, I don't know. But, and then the little girl gives him a big hug, and she doesn't want him to go. But he gives her, you know, a little pep talk, and yeah, it's a really sweet ending. And Wolverine goes back to the mansion. Him and Hank chat, and they're talking about the Martys. And then Hank's like, "So what we gonna do?" And Wolverine's like, "We bring back the X-Men." And then that's the ending. So this was fun. This was really fun. I'm really excited for episode 2 next week. Rock with me for Sun Butter and Superheroes, and oh, I forgot. I made the jalapeno popcorn and I ate it before I started watching this. But it is on my website and it is on my Instagram as well. Like, comment, and subscribe. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, you guys. And I'll see you next week.